Morning, everyone. Welcome to day 20 of the 30-day Body, Mind, and Spirit Challenge. I am Peter Schenk from moderndaymystic.com. Today we are continuing with the Source 5 technology, 5th generation manifestation software. Amazing product. Been around about 6 or 7 years and has continued to redefine how manifestation works in the world. As my conscious reality understands the depth, the breadth, and the scope of how manifestation works, so the software grows in the same capacity. So with that said, yesterday we did some high energy. Today we're going to play around with a couple of the arrays, and I'm going to show you a little bit more how the technology works. So the arrays you create using the 9 symbols of creation, and we have 10 predefined arrays in here that have been tried and true from the team before the software was released. And each array is set up very different from the others. Now, again, you can create your own arrays, you can save them, you can bring them back up, you can change them around and save them again. You really have full flexibility within the Source 5 to find out what works best for you, and then you can set up your regimen to bring what you want into fruition. Again, this utilizes the body, the mind, and the spirit in a way that is very different from an earlier piece of technology that we saw called Aquaware 5, which is intent specific. The Source 5 is all about manifestation and making it beautiful in your reality. So today we're going to use custom array number 5. It's very important that in your mind's eye you understand exactly what you want to bring into fruition. Knowing what you want is 95% of the battle. And again, where you put your attention, the manifestation will follow. We are now entering the Source 5. Water preparation, user preparation, pre-nucleating. So, some people ask me, well, how does this technology work? Well, we're actually taking the mind out of the equation when we release this to Source. And how do we do that? Because we're consciously directing your manifestation in the water, thereby drinking that water. The water is programmed with your manifestation. It goes right into the body, and instantaneously that energy starts coming out of the body on what we call light rays. And the light rays are what contain your manifestation. So when the Source of the universe comes by and grabs those, that manifestation, we've taken the human equation out of it. There is no doubt or worry. And if you do have doubt or worry about your manifestation, it is shielded by what we call light rays. It have no bearing on it whatsoever anymore. And that manifestation always comes into fruition. And when it does, it's more perfect than your human imagination can conjure up. Go ahead and drink your water, folks. Always important to understand what you want. Day 20, 30-day Body, Mind, and Spirit Challenge. We are 2/3 of the way through, folks. You're all doing absolutely amazing.
And good morning, Rena Suriano, the Conscious Health Alchemist, day 20 on your 30-day Holistic Health Challenge. Okay, so today I'm going to have to pump up the energy a little bit more because my intuition's saying, oh, you might have been slacking a little bit on these past 20 days of implementing some of the things I've taught. And so here's the deal. If you do not build and gain momentum on this thing, you're probably going to fizzle out and you're not going to get the results that you possibly can. So I'm going to press you, and I'm going to come in at you again and say, what are you doing with your time and energies, and are you pumping up the volume? Okay? Because the deal is your life is going to get in the way. Most people are putting their career and relationships and money and all this other stuff first, and then if and when they have time, that's when health comes in. And I'm here to teach a new philosophy, a new paradigm, which is your health is your fulcrum. It's the foundation to everything in your life. So if you want your life to flow as far as finances and relationships and career, you might want to reset your priorities, because most people have health down at the bottom if and when they have time and money and energy, and that is a one-way road to nowhere. So if you really want to bling out and live a delicious, victorious life, you might want to start pulling these things to the side and putting health as your platform, your main platform, that where everything else ripples from. Most people are doing it butt backwards. Okay, so I'm going to challenge you is you need to fit the rest of your life into after you've embodied this holistic lifestyle. So if you really want radiant health, you want to live a delicious, victorious life, you have to embody a holistic lifestyle day in and day out. Not when you remember, and not when you feel like it. So how have you done in the past 20 days? I mean, I've given you some powerful stuff, and I'm holding nothing back, okay? I've given you some powerful stuff that if you embody even half of it, you should have noticed some quantum leaps. My question to you is where are you on this 20-day journey? And so my thing is, you need to restructure your life, reprioritize, put health number one, and then the rest comes. So you don't do it the other way because, well, look out there and look at yourself. How have you fared so far? Putting money, career, and relationships first, and then putting health when and if you have time, and when and if you have the money. So my deal is, if you want your life to flow, if you want finances to flow, you want your relationships to be harmonic, focus most of your energy on your health, because it's naturally going to be a byproduct, ripple out. It's going to affect all other areas of your life, and the results will speak for themselves. So I'm going to press you. I'm going to ask you to kindly, let's get it going. Cut it out. I know habits and patterns are going to come in, and life is going to get in the way. Oh, your kids, and oh, your job, and oh, your partner. Too bad. No more excuses, my friend. If you want to live a victorious life, you must reset your life. You must reset your priorities, okay? If you want to change your life, you got to change the energy. If you wake up every morning and you do the same thing day in and day out, and you do the same patterns, it's going to be the same energy. Nothing's going to change. So from starting from this point forward, you got to change the energy. And how do you do that? Well, you do different things. If you get up in the morning and you do the same thing every morning, change it up. Do something else first, and do a different order of things of getting your day started. But change the energy, you change your life. You can't magically meditate your way to changing your life. You have to take action, okay? So my deal is, you got to take action, but you have to reset your life. No one can do it for you. So I'm going to be very real for you. I'm going to get really real with you right now. Most people will never tap into their full potential because they talk about it, they bitch and moan about it, and they do all these things about life. They want to change their life, and they never take action. And all they have to do is start moving one step forward. That's why I'm giving you this 30-day challenge. I'm making it as simple as possible. And if you don't do it now, you're never going to do it. So I'm going to ask you to step up. It's time, because by helping yourself out, you're going to help everyone else. You're going to help this planet by being a model. And I've already spoken to you my philosophy. So get fit, get healthy, get radiant so you can live a victorious life. Go shine that to other people so they can take notice, and maybe it might be a catalyst for their change. I'm Reno Soriano. I just hit you on day 20. Let's get it going, baby. You got to pump up the energy, okay? This is the last 10 days coming, and I'm going to say put full force into this and change your life so you can live a victorious life. I'm the Conscious Health Alchemist, and remember, healthy body, happy soul.
Hey guys, welcome back. I want to ask you, do you have a challenging relationship in your life? A recurring situation that really calls you to have that inside, whether it be anger or frustration or sadness, resentment? You know, a lot of us do. And I want to give you a different perspective on how to look at these relationships and, you know, possibly change the energy around them. 9 times out of 10, what's going on with that other person, whatever they're doing that really annoys you in whatever way, that behavior is about them in their own lives and their own circumstances. And what I mean is, everyone has their own unique history unto them and their own thought processes. So in their perceptions about things. So when we place shoulds, as it were, onto people, which is a forced energy, even with our own selves, we create a resistance in our body, and it's an energy that's so easily perpetuated over and over and over again, the negative spiral we can go down. So let's take, for instance, just an example. You have a family member that comes to visit you, and all they want to do is stare at their phone. You don't hardly get to see them, but yet they don't interact with the family that much and kind of just check out. Well, instead of maybe feeling all that frustration and anger, whatever it is in your body, which is only hurting you, by the way, We want to maybe look at that person through a more compassionate set of eyes and realize that they have their own issues. What could those issues be? Is there anything you can do to help? Well, maybe not, but you can do something to help yourself, and that is realize that it's not personally about you, it's about them. Like I said, that's the case 9 times out of 10. Of course, there's people in life that purposely try to hurt us, but not generally. Generally, if something's going on and we're frustrated, anger, resentment, whatever, it's something that they're doing that we feel they should not be doing or that they should be doing. And again, that only hurts us internally. We don't want to get down that negative spiral. We have to send them love and a greater expanded, send them energy of just say love and peace. Take a deep breath yourself. And once you practice that over and over with that person, just through the lens of compassion and understanding, even though if you really don't understand it, just realizing that it's about them, not about you, you really shift the energy. And what can happen is they can actually show up differently toward you. Yes, you are that powerful. So get busy changing that energy. That's your challenge. If you have a challenging relationship in your life, take a different approach. Try not to take it personally. You are stronger than that. I know you are. Begin to realize it. Thank you again for joining, and talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Hi guys, we're back, day 20, Body, Mind, Spirit Challenge. My name is Jim Standish and I am one of your co-hosts. So we just started to delve into the I Ching. Now, the I Ching is in what is known as the Ancient Oracle. And I'm going to hold up this workbook that I have been using for many, many, many years. It's called the I Ching Workbook by R.L. Wing. You can find this on Amazon. I think it's like $20, 19 and change. And I also provided for you the opportunity to kind of dive right into this. So on your printout that you pulled out yesterday and you started practicing tossing coins last night, we talked about this yesterday, at the bottom of the printout there is a website, divination.com/I Ching/lookup. Okay, and there you can just hover the mouse over any one of the hexagrams and it will pull up the contemplation for that hexagram. Now, I literally just used this just the other day because I was looking at a job and I didn't know whether I was going to get the job or not, so I asked the I Ching. And as I shared with you yesterday, I usually I like to do it with a question that's very pressing. I like to do it with a question that has a lot of emotion behind it. And usually, for me, I have had incredible success that I very seldom get a changing line. It usually comes out pretty straight, right on. Okay? So, if you pull out your chart and you practice this, okay, last night. Now, I'm going to do this with you so that you can practice it a little bit. I really suggest finding your question. Hopefully something with some emotion behind it, something serious, something that you're really contemplating. And I want you to hold that question in your mind. And if you got 3 coins, 3 nickels, 3 quarters, 3 whatever works for you, and I want you to kind of hold them in your hand like this. And I want you to ask your question. And I want that question to be quick, simple, easy, not misleading. So for me, I was looking to see if I got the job long before I even applied for the job, if that makes any sense. So my question was, did I get the job? 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 And I drop it. And then I write it down. So if it was two heads and a tail, if it was two heads and a tail, it was a solid line. And if it was two tails and a head, it was a dotted line. And again, every time. Do the breathing exercise, do whatever you need to do to get into your space. And for me, it was, did I get the job? Did I get the job? Did I get the job? And boom, I throw them down, I write it down. You do this 6 times. And what you do, as I have in the instructions, you build the trigram from the bottom up. So you're going to start at the bottom, and you're going to throw the coins. And the second time, you're going to put your next line on top of that. The next time, you're going to put your line on top of that. So that builds the bottom trigram, 1, 2, 3. Next time, same question. Did I get the job? Did I get the job? Did I get the job? Okay? And for me, that particular one, I pulled out 14, or sovereignty. And I want you guys to go onto the website and just pull it up and read it. But see how that order goes. So that's the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, the sixth one. So every day I did 2 heads and a tail, except for number 5. And on the 5th turn, I threw 2 tails and a head. It was not changing. Now, if you get a changing line, that is, you get 3 tails or 3 heads, as you're writing down the hexagram, as you're writing it down, and you're working your way up, you're going to put a dot after any of the ones that may have changed. So if it's 3 heads or 3 tails, so it was either solid line with a dot or a dashed line with a dot. And what you do is you actually write that hexagram down again a second time. So the first time, if I got this, and I would write down 14. The second time, if that was a changing line, that solid line would become 2 dotted lines. And then this solid line would become 2 dotted lines. So it had solid, solid, dotted line, solid, dotted line, dotted line. Changes the hexagram all together. And again, you can look this up on the chart. Pull up the website. You'll see on the left-hand side going up, you'll see the lower trigrams, and on the right-hand side, on the top coming across, you'll see the upper trigrams. And you just kind of connect the dots where the 2 meet. That's the number. You look up that number, and that number is the contemplation. For me, it has been extremely accurate, extremely comforting. If nothing else, extremely comforting, because sometimes, man, life throws crazy stuff at you, right? I mean, we're in some pretty crazy times right now. And it's hard to sometimes to keep yourself centered and keep yourself calm. So if you have a very pressing question, whether you gotta pull the plug on somebody or put somebody in the hospital or in the nursing home, or I prefer to get help with things that I'm really wrestling with. Like I said, I'm not going to use it to choose chocolate or vanilla ice cream. I can choose that really easy. I don't need the I Ching to understand that. However, sometimes there are things that really weigh us down, really bug us. And this can be a really calming influence to help us understand. Now, the cool thing is, the answer is there. The answer is right here. It's always right here. And this is a way, because you are actually influencing these little guys. And that's why I told you I choose solid copper, because I know that copper is an incredible conductor of electricity. And when I'm holding these in my hands, and when I'm asking the question, I'm loading that with that energy. Sounds like a bunch of crazy poop. I understand, I get it, right? I mean, it just sounds nuts. However, if you practice this, I do believe you're going to get quite a bit out of it. I really do. So, homework for today is to actually do some readings, ask some questions, do some contemplations. I'm going to come back and just kind of recap this a little bit. And then we're going to move right on because we got a lot of stuff to get to. So, what is today? Today's day 20. All right? We got a lot of stuff to get to, guys, in the next 10 days. So stick with me. My pleasure. I'll see you tomorrow, day 21.
Hello, I'm Dr. Howard. Today we're going to talk about seeing auras. It's not too hard. For some it's difficult, but you have to practice at it. People think you just look at it and you get a great big bright picture, and you don't. You get a very faint outline, and you have to sort of defocus your eyes and defocus your mind slightly. And I think the trick is more in defocusing the mind. There's a little exercise I think we can do. If you take your fingers like this, take one finger, hold it up in front of you, and now look at it, and it's about at this distance. You pull it back, and it'll double. You get it out here, and it's nice and clear. And you put it right about where it's about to double, and you look at it, and you just move it just a little bit so you can just see it, and you'll see a glowing area right about, it'll vary from about that far out, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. It'll be a blurry area. And then things will be clear. And the finger will be reasonably clear, not quite in full focus. If you were looking at the finger, you would not see the blurry area very well. Well, maybe you would. Depends what you hold it up, what kind of background. And you just sort of get a little halo around it. Takes some practice. Takes quite a bit of practice. After a while, you can look, as you look through the blurry area, you may start seeing some colors, and they'll be sort of pastel-like colors. They're not going to be bright, sharp colors like my jacket. They're going to be a very translucent pastel. And depending on the background, sometimes it's easier to see than others. If a sick person comes in, I look at them, and sometimes they'll be like a tornado swirling area, cone type of shape. I don't see it swirling, but I do see a cone. And it will point right to where the problem is. Depending what you need, the universe will give you exactly what you want, what you think you want, and it'll give you what you need. So anyway, that's seeing auras. Practice with it. Practice with a friend. Originally, when I started seeing them, a friend was teaching me, about 30 years ago, 35 years ago. And she was the wife of one of my professors. I was in chiropractic school at the time, and she took me under her wing and taught me to see auras. I learned fairly quickly, but she would, if we happened to be together, she would point to somebody in the area and say, "What do you see?" I would look, tell her what I saw. She would tell me what she saw. Usually, initially, the colors I saw were different than the ones she saw. After a while, I started seeing the colors that she saw. The colors made sense to me, and they made sense to her, and then we could communicate. When I expect when you're first starting to see auras, you'll see different colors than I do. Sort of made me laugh the other day when somebody was giving lessons on auras, and a friend of mine sent me some information that the person was putting out, and he was telling her that these colors mean one thing and absolutely, and this color is terrible, and this color is wonderful, and this is a holy color, and that's the color of the devil, and all that type of stuff. Well, maybe not in those so many words, but pretty close. And what happened was they were diametrically opposed to some of the things that I had told her about colors, and I realized what had happened. Nobody had agreed on what the colors meant. Person saw them, sensed what they meant to him, and decided that's what they must mean for everybody. Well, it's not. Unless your brain starts agreeing with another person, you're going to see a different color spectrum, most probably. Unless you're slightly telepathic, you're going to see a different color spectrum. And oh yeah, telepaths exist. I've met them. Lived in a community with them at one time for a short time. That's a topic for another discussion. So until we talk again, God bless you and have fun. Bye.
Hello everyone, Donna Whittington here from Peace, Love, Joy, and Bliss Coaching. So I want to talk to you about relationships and how to tell if you're in a one-sided relationship. If you are in a relationship with your partner and you're having to do all of the work, you're the one that's calling, you're the one that's following up, making all the plans, things like that, you might quite possibly be in a one-sided relationship. So if you find that you're the only one that seems to be active in the relationship, it's time to have a chat with your partner and time to have some open, frank conversations. And if there's something that you are feeling that's just kind of out of whack, then definitely talk with your partner. Because a one-sided relationship is you doing all of the giving, and there's nothing wrong with giving. Giving is a wonderful thing. Giving also allows you to receive so that you don't have to be in such a one-sided relationship. When you're able to receive. When someone gives to you, accept. Okay, and again, I shouldn't have to say that if they're giving you something crazy or anything like that, that you have to accept that. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm suggesting to you is allow people to give to you and allow yourself to receive. But going back to the one-sided relationship, you doing all the giving needs to be addressed to make sure that the person who's getting all the receiving, that there is a mutual understanding. Otherwise, it is a one-sided relationship. So if you're doing all the talking, all of the phone calls and things like that, you might want to just check in with your partner to see, hey, are we in a relationship? I'm feeling a little bit where I am having to do everything. So make sure that you check in with your partner. Best way to do that, of course, is through communication. That's the only way. Check in with your partner. See what's going on in their mind. Because it might be something that you just need to bring to the forefront in their mind and open them up to whatever that is, whatever the relationship is. If it feels one-sided to you, open that conversation up and allow them to voice their thoughts on the relationship. And if you are in a relationship that seems a little one-sided, then talk to your partner about how to make it more of a joint venture, a joint partnership, a joint communication. And tell your partner what you need and listen. You gotta listen. Listen to what people are saying to you. If they are saying, yeah, no, I can't do this relationship, you need to listen to that as well. Or no, we're not in a relationship. We're just kind of hanging out and doing things. You need to be clear. So find out what that is and what's going on in the relationship, just so you know that A, you are in a relationship, or you know that you're not in a relationship, and that way you can act accordingly. All right, I'm Donna Whittington of Peace, Love, Joy, and Bliss Coaching.com. You can find me online. You can also book private sessions. You can also connect with me on Facebook. I am on Facebook. I have a Love Connections page. I'm also in LinkedIn as well. You can just look for my name, Donna Whittington. I want to thank you guys for joining today. You have a wonderful day. And again, Donna Whittington of Peace, Love, Joy, and Bliss Coaching.com.
Hi. Today let's talk about vibrational compatibility. Are you being vibrationally compatible with what you're asking for? Yes or no? Say, for example, that you would like to have a certain body shape. Are your choices congruent with what that shape would be for you? You can ask that question prior to making choices. For example, foods. Is this food vibrationally compatible with the size, shape that I would like to be? Is this food nurturing? In that way, you can create a sense of knowing for yourself and be empowered to choose that which is vibrationally compatible so that you can see the results take place in your life. Apply this with anything that you would like to create. Is what I'm choosing actually what I would like to create? What will this create in my life if I choose it? And now you are actually creating from a place of knowing rather than not having any clue as to, well, what changes you are actually required to make in your life in order to see it come to fruition in the way that you would like to. So I challenge you to continue asking. And what else is possible? How does it get any better than that? Thank you, blessings, and namaste.